And a police officer from Albany PD confirming for us just moments ago that a man was shot inside this apartment. A stray bullet hit a child at a home daycare earlier this afternoon. Our Melissa Steininger and Jackson Wang providing team coverage for us this evening. It was early this morning that a 50-year-old man was found shot in the back of the head inside that home. And we are just learning that that 50-year-old man has died, and now a 17-year-old is facing charges in connection with his death. Just about 90 degrees in Troy today, but the South Troy pool remains closed. There is fencing up and no water in the pool. See, I could be a high flyer.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Stand up, stand up. See, there we go.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Philanthropist and Saratoga Racecourse booster and mainstay Mary Lou Whitney has passed away at the age of 93. A massive fire in Troy destroys a community icon. Alpha Lanes on 5th Avenue crumbling this morning.
He's like, I'm really excited. I hope you meet Keith one day. This is something like your mind's gonna be blown by this.
It was soon after graduating high school. This man's close friend and co-worker told him about an organization he'd become involved in, the Executive Success Program, an arm of the secretive group NXIVM, led by Keith Raniere.
I mean, they would always talk about how he was, on a genius scale.
We've concealed this man's identity to protect his privacy. He agreed to talk about his experience to provide some perspective on why he says good, well-intentioned people joined the alleged cult.
A lot of these people are just trying to better their lives. Like, that was the whole purpose of getting pulled into the group, was to reach your potential.
3 of his friends joined NXIVM. The one closest to him encouraged him to join. He was even introduced to Raniere briefly.
He kind of came across a little conceited.
He declined to join NXIVM, citing what he calls red flags, such as members of the group routinely breaking down crying in the coffee shop where he worked with this friend, and a change in his friend's demeanor.
Like, he turned into almost a different person, and he would openly talk about how, a lot of his values have been reassessed.
The group, he says, did provide some skills and opportunities for members that were useful.
So again, it was used as kind of an ulterior motive and a manipulative force.
He wants former NXIVM members to know there's help available and people who care. He hopes sharing his story inspires empathy and understanding.
This speaks to a lot of abuse in general, how prominent abuse is in an emotional level, and that it could be really inflicted on anybody.
I am a survivor of sex trafficking.
The road to recovery for survivors of sex trafficking is not a straight line. Eyes Wide Open helps survivors navigate life's challenges.
We'll see where it takes us.
To do that, this Schenectady nonprofit needs a new car.
Without a vehicle that will get them there, it would be devastating at this point.
Steering a GoFundMe campaign to buy a new car are women cared for by the organization, including Brittany.
So I wanted to just do one thing, even if it was just do a GoFundMe.
They're both gorgeous. What are you talking about?
Founder Debbie Fowler says access to reliable transportation will help get them to appointments safely.
Who knows what we'll get.
And make it to events where they'll sell crafts made by women in their residential program, like Brittany.
This program has made me love and live life again.
And this, basically, at this point in their recovery and programming, this is starting to become their livelihood.
The drive these women display speaks to what this charity has achieved and provides hope that healing is possible.
It makes me feel good at the end of the day, like I accomplished something.
You are awesome. Yeah. She can figure things out, and she can advocate for herself. And there's hope. There's hope to change. She wasn't always like that or felt like that about herself, but she does now.
Days before Tuesday's Democratic mayoral primary and less than 2 weeks before what many expected to be the reopening of the South Troy pool, Mayor Patrick Madden's office says more time is needed to complete the project.
You close the pools. It's kind of like an arsonist who wants to get credit for putting the fire out that he started.
Democratic challenger Rodney Wiltshire says Madden made pools a campaign issue when he announced a multi-million-dollar plan in February to reopen the South Troy pool with a goal of July 1st and replace the Knickerbocker pool later.
It's a super important issue to the voters.
In a lengthy statement emailed to Spectrum News Friday, a spokesperson for Mayor Madden said additional time is needed due to a number of factors, including heavy rain this spring and unexpected repairs to portions of the pool's concrete walls.
To say that we were going to be opening on July 1st, when I first heard it, I kind of scoffed a little bit.
Republican candidate for mayor Tom Reel says this represents the Madden administration's failure to address problems.
Especially the youth down here in South Troy. It's one of the biggest weekends of the entire summer. They're going to be without their pool for a third year in a row.
Mayor Madden's office also appears to reject the notion July 1st was ever set as a formal date to reopen, saying in the statement, the city has been consistent from the beginning that the project had an aggressive schedule and custom manufacture of necessary items would determine the completion date.
To retrace and retract and even use doublespeak and talk about it's a moving target, that's just his way of trying to get out of it.